Gentlemen, let me ask you something personal. When was the last time your partner finished completely satisfied because of you? Be honest with yourself. Studies show that over 67% of men over 60 have never been told about 3 specific spots on a woman's body that, when touched the right way, make satisfaction almost guaranteed. These are not complicated techniques. They are not about strength or stamina. They are about knowledge. And today, I am going to give you that knowledge spots number 3 through 1, ranked from powerful to absolutely game-changing. Stay until the end, because spot number 1 will completely change how you approach intimacy forever. I'm Dr. Sarah Collins, a board-certified sexual health physician and relationship medicine specialist with over 14 years of experience helping men over 60 restore confidence, deepen intimacy, and give their partners the kind of satisfaction most couples only dream about. I have spent 14 years helping men over 60 avoid the loneliness and disconnection that comes from feeling inadequate in the bedroom and reclaim the powerful, confident, intimate life they deserve. In my clinic, I treat hundreds of couples every year, and I have found that the single biggest missing piece is not performance, it is precision. Knowing exactly where and how to touch. Let's fix that today. Here is what happens as men get older. Testosterone levels drop, confidence fades. And most men start believing that satisfying their partner is no longer possible, that their best years are behind them. I want you to hear this clearly. That belief is wrong, and it is costing you your relationship. Over 58% of women in relationships with men over 60 report feeling emotionally and physically disconnected from their partners. And research published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that in 72% of these cases, the disconnection was not caused by physical inability, it was caused by a lack of knowledge about the female body. I'm talking about the quiet distance that grows in a marriage. I'm talking about sleeping in the same bed but feeling miles apart. I'm talking about watching your partner's eyes lose that spark and not knowing how to bring it back. The embarrassment of feeling like less of a man. The loneliness of intimacy becoming a memory rather than a reality. But here is what most doctors won't tell you. The female body has specific zones neurologically rich, emotionally connected zones that respond to the right touch with extraordinary intensity. Age does not reduce your ability to reach those zones. Knowledge does. And today, I'm giving you that knowledge. Before we get into the 3 spots, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it tells me you want more content like this. Drop a comment below and tell me what country you're watching from. I genuinely love hearing from men all around the world. And subscribe so you never miss a video that could change your relationship. Stay with me until spot number 1. It is the most powerful thing I have ever shared on this channel. Spot number 3 is the nape of the neck, the soft area at the back of the neck, just where the hairline ends. Most men walk right past this spot every single day without realizing it is one of the most powerful intimacy triggers on the entire female body. They focus on the obvious, and they miss the extraordinary. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. The nape of the neck is densely packed with C-tactile afferent nerve fibers, a special class of nerves that respond specifically to slow, gentle skin-to-skin touch. These nerves send signals directly to the brain's limbic system, the emotional processing center, triggering an immediate release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. On a biological level, touching this spot gently tells her nervous system, you are safe, you are cherished, and you are desired. That emotional signal is the foundation of physical arousal in women. When oxytocin rises, so does her desire to be close to you emotionally and physically. Most men focus on physical stimulation, but women's arousal begins in the brain. And the nape of the neck is a direct line to that system. A 2021 study published in the journal Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews confirmed that slow, affectionate touch to C-tactile nerve zones, including the neck, produced measurably higher oxytocin responses than any other type of touch. The same study found that women whose partners regularly engaged in affectionate neck touch reported 43% higher relationship satisfaction scores. That is nearly half from one simple habit. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. When you are close to your partner, sitting together, standing behind her in the kitchen, or lying in bed, place your fingertips very gently at the base of her hairline. Use the lightest possible pressure. Slowly, with just your fingertips, trace small circles or draw gentle lines downward along the back of her neck. Do this for 60 to 90 seconds without rushing. No agenda, no expectation, just presence and tenderness. Do this 3 to 4 times per week, not only during intimate moments, but throughout daily life. The cumulative effect on her emotional connection to you is profound. One of my patients was 64 years old, a retired school principal named Robert. He came to me after his wife of 31 years told him she felt invisible in their relationship. He was devastated. He told me, "Doc, I love her more than anything. I just don't know how to show her anymore." I taught him this exact technique. I told him to do nothing else for 2 weeks, just the neck touch, 3 times a day, with full presence. 2 weeks later, he came back to my office looking like a different man. He said his wife had started reaching for his hand again during dinner. She told him she felt like they were dating again. Within 6 weeks, their intimacy had been completely restored. Robert looked at me and said, "Dr. Collins, I had no idea something so small could mean so much." Spot number 3 alone changed everything. But spot number 2 is even more powerful. Keep watching. Spot number 2 surprises almost every man. I share it with the inner wrist. That soft, thin-skinned area on the underside of the wrist where you can see the blue veins just beneath the surface. Most men have never thought of this area as intimate. That is exactly why it works so well. Let me explain why this works on a biological level. Because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. The inner wrist has one of the thinnest layers of skin on the entire human body, which means nerve endings are extremely close to the surface. This area is highly sensitive to temperature, pressure, and touch. When you hold or gently kiss her inner wrist, you are activating a cluster of sensory nerves that send immediate signals to the brain's pleasure and emotional centers simultaneously. Additionally, the inner wrist carries a pulse point, a heartbeat. When you press your lips gently to her pulse point, you are creating an unconscious neurological connection. She literally feels her own heartbeat under your touch. Research in somatic psychology shows this creates an unusually powerful sense of being held and desired. The effect is both sensory and deeply emotional, a combination that drives genuine intimacy far more effectively than any physical technique. A 2019 study from the University of Hertfordshire, published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, found that women who received regular gentle touch to pulse point areas, including wrist, reported feeling significantly more emotionally aroused and connected to their partners. Specifically, 61% of women in the study rated wrist contact moments as among the most memorable intimate experiences of their relationship, more than many other conventional techniques. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. During a quiet moment together over dinner, on the couch, or at the end of the day, take her hand gently in yours. Turn it over so her palm faces upward. With your thumb, trace a slow, light circle on the inside of her wrist. Then, and this is the key, bring her wrist slowly to your lips and press one soft, unhurried kiss directly on her pulse point. Hold it there for 3 full seconds. Do not rush. Do not speak. Let that moment breathe. Repeat this 2 to 3 times per week. It will become one of the most anticipated moments in your relationship. My patient Gerald, 71 years old and a retired Navy officer, had been married for 43 years. He came to me after his wife told him she no longer felt desired. "She said I treat her like a roommate," he told me, his voice breaking. That broke my heart. I gave Gerald this protocol. He was skeptical. "Doc, kissing her wrist is going to fix things?" I told him to trust the biology. 3 weeks later, Gerald's wife called my office, which almost never happens. She wanted to know what I had said to her husband. She said he had become a completely different man, attentive, present, tender. She said, "I feel like the woman he fell in love with again." Gerald later told me, "Dr. Collins, I spent 43 years not knowing that. I just want other men to know it too." Spot number 2 is extraordinary. But spot number 1 is in a category entirely by itself. Do not go anywhere. Spot number 1 is the small of the back, that gentle curve just above the hips at the very base of the spine. This is the most neurologically significant, emotionally powerful, and intimately meaningful spot on the entire female body. And it is the most ignored spot by men over 60 in every study I have ever read. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. The small of the back sits directly above the sacral nerve plexus, a dense network of nerves that connects directly to the pelvic region. Gentle, warm pressure applied here activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for relaxation, trust, and physical receptivity. When a woman feels a warm, confident hand placed gently on the small of her back, her nervous system interprets this as protection, strength, and desire. It is one of the oldest, most primal intimacy signals in human biology. Additionally, this region contains fascia, connective tissue, that holds enormous amounts of tension, especially in women who carry stress in their lower bodies. When you apply slow, gentle circular pressure here, you are physically releasing that stored tension. Her body relaxes. Her guard drops. Her emotional openness increases dramatically. This is why the small of the back is described by researchers as a gateway zone. It opens the door to everything else. A landmark 2022 study published in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research found that women who received regular, intentional touch to the sacral and lumbar region reported 55% higher levels of emotional intimacy, 48% higher physical satisfaction scores, and were significantly more likely to initiate intimacy themselves. The researchers concluded that this region is the single most underutilized intimacy asset in long-term relationships. The same study found this effect was strongest in couples over the age of 55, meaning, gentlemen, this spot is specifically made for us. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. When you are standing beside or behind your partner passing in the kitchen, walking together, saying goodnight, place your entire warm palm on the small of her back. Not a pat, not a quick touch. Your full hand, placed with warmth and intention. Apply gentle, steady pressure for 5 to 10 seconds. Then, if the moment allows, use your fingertips to trace slow, wide circles in that area, always slow, always deliberate, all present. Do this every single day, morning, evening, whenever the moment allows. Make it a habit as automatic as brushing your teeth. Within 2 to 3 weeks, you will notice a fundamental shift in how she responds to you in closeness, in warmth, in desire. My patient Thomas was 67 years old, a former architect, and he came to me in one of the most painful situations I see in my clinic. He and his wife of 39 years had not been truly intimate in over 2 years. Not from lack of love, from lack of connection. He said, "We love each other. We just don't know how to reach each other anymore." I gave Thomas this protocol, just this one thing, and told him to do it every day for 30 days with zero expectation of anything in return. Just the touch, just the warmth, just the presence. At the 30-day follow-up, Thomas sat across from me and could barely speak. He finally said, "Week 2, she started leaning into me when I did it. Week 3, she started reaching for me in bed. Week 4, Dr. Collins, we were us again. We were actually us again." I also want to share the story of my patient William, 73 years old, who had given up entirely. He told me, "At my age, I figured that part of life was just over." Within 6 weeks of this daily practice, William described a complete restoration of intimacy in his marriage. His wife told him he made her feel more desired than she had in 20 years. William said to me, "I lost 20 years thinking I was past it. I wasn't past it. I just didn't know where to look." Here is your complete implementation system. Tonight, starting right now, put your hand on the small of her back. That is it. Just that one thing. Tomorrow, add the inner wrist touch during one quiet moment together. This week, practice all 3 spots at least once each day, not during intimate moments only, but throughout everyday life. The magic is in the consistency and the ordinariness. Weeks 2 through 4, track her responses. You will begin to notice her. Leaning closer, reaching for you more, softening in ways she has not in years. By weeks 6 through 8, most of my patients report a complete transformation in the emotional and physical connection of their relationship. You are not starting over. You are simply starting right. Let me recap what we covered today. Spot number 3, the nape of the neck activates her bonding hormones and makes her feel cherished. Spot number 2, the inner wrist creates an emotional and sensory connection that she will remember. And spot number 1, the small of the back is the single most powerful intimacy gateway in the human body, and it is most effective in couples over 55. Over 67% of men over 60 have never been taught this. But you have been. Today, you now know what most men will never know. And here is what I need you to understand. Age is not the enemy of intimacy. Ignorance is. And you just defeated ignorance? You have more power than you realize, gentlemen. The ability to make your partner feel deeply desired, deeply safe, and deeply satisfied does not fade with age. It deepens when you have the knowledge to channel it. Starting tonight, use spot number 1. Watch what happens. I'm Dr. Sarah Collins. Intimacy is not behind you. With the right knowledge, the best years of your relationship may still be ahead. I'll see you in the next video. If this helped you, hit that like button right now. Comment below and tell me which spot surprised you the most. I read every single comment. And subscribe so you never miss a video designed specifically for men who refuse to give up on their relationships. See you next time, gentlemen.